Hi, welcome to this our final content week. You could spend £10 million on firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and military-grade encryption. And then an attacker spends £5 buying your receptionist a coffee and asking nicely for the door to be held open. I'm afraid that sort of thing is all too often our downfall. So far, we have spent 6 weeks learning about mathematics, protocols, code, quantum physics, blockchains, and the economics of defense. All of that is important. But this week is about the thing that all too often breaks it all: people. Social engineering targets the brain, not the computer. Phishing works because it targets the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, bypassing the frontal cortex, which is where your logic lives. An email that says urgent, your invoice is overdue, is not a technical exploit, it is a psychological one. And it works on lots of people. It works on clever people. It works on even security professionals sometimes. It works because the amygdala is faster than the frontal cortex, and the attackers know that either implicitly or explicitly. Then there's biometrics, fingerprints, face recognition, all that. And here's the thing that people do not think about. A fingerprint is not a password. It's a username. You leave it on every glass you touch. It is compromised. If it gets out in the public domain, you can't change it. You can't get a new fingerprint. So while biometrics are great for identification, proving who you are, they are problematic for authentication, proving you should have access. That distinction matters. And finally, we don't do security in a vacuum. We operate in a legal and an ethical landscape. Here we've got GDPR, surveillance, data collection. There are rules about what you can and cannot do with people's data, and a security engineer needs to understand them. Anderson's chapter 3 puts the place of people in this loop quite beautifully. The most dangerous vulnerability is the one sitting in the chair. So this week, lesson 7.1 is about social engineering and phishing, how it works and how to defend against it. Lesson 7.2 is about biometrics and authentication, what works, what does not, and what the difference is between a username and a password when it comes to parts of your body. Lesson 7.3 is about privacy, law, and ethics. GDPR, surveillance capitalism, the line between security and control. And lessons 7.4 and 7.5 bring everything together, the whole course really. For the portfolio, and this is your final content task, you need to write a one-page guide for the journalists who use the AtherGuard Vault. These are non-technical people. If the security is too complicated, if you can't make it understandable to them, they will do something else. They will just use WhatsApp or whatever. So how do you protect them from themselves and protect you in the process? How do you make secure behavior the easy behavior? That is actually the hardest problem in all of security. But we'll tackle that at the end. The very last worked example I will do will be a phishing attack. So I'll see you there at the end of lesson 7. At the end of the lesson. Go on, do the interactive lessons, read the book, and I'll see you for the phishing attack at the end of the week.